Alrighty, so we got the Long Halloween, and you saw the title. That's what I'm gonna do. Also, part of the thing was that I also did see the when I would mute this here. So when I mute it still have a little bit of sound. So I put on a mute and then turn the gate down, and then turn the gain down a little bit on the audio interface until that was almost completely flat. And that one actually seemed to have helped. So I'm hoping that improves the audio quality a bit, even if it's just by a little bit. All right. So we got our tea here, and now we can have something cold to drink. We also have water. And as much as I'd love to have this all and just all the lights off and just enjoy the way I enjoyed the original Long Halloween, turn the RGB keyboard off and everything, even the mouse, and just enjoy it, I don't think I'll be able to do that right now. Just because I did try turning the light off and there was nothing. The 300 nits of brightness does show, but only when it's like you have something bright, and in the dark colors it would not show. So there you go. That's why we're not doing it that way, even though I want to. Now obviously it did change, so it's still a little bit darker behind me, not behind me, in front of the monitor, in front of me behind the monitor. It's still a little bit darker there, and most of the light is on me at this point. So we did it that way. I know my hair was a bit bedheady, so I straightened that up a little bit. I actually thought it wouldn't be bad, but I figured, all right, fine, might as well. Maybe part of it was falling on the side. It was fun, but I figured maybe just don't have it so drippy. Maybe I'll do that soon in the future. Maybe. All right, so let's begin this. And I hope it's really good and got my reaction to it. Alright, I like Jensen Ackles in this. I like his performance as Red Hood and Under the Red Hood as well. But and again, I like the fact that they're switching it up. I think they said Troy Baker's still Joker in this. Producer Jim Crick. Again, I'm already loving the sound of this. Sam Register, yeah. Long Halloween. Chris Palmer. Again, I like the fact that it's pretty good. It almost looks like a motion comic here. Like that was not very good. That looks a little different. Still alright. Never see that face. It's on Bruce. I keep the subtitles. Oh, Poison Ivy, red hair, green eyes. Oh no. How much did he lose? Original owner. So he hasn't been showing up. So who is it? St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so in this one she just has the plants do it. In the DCAU normally it's the lipstick. But here. Oh. Ooh. Is she Holiday? Arkham Asylum is top of a winding what, man? Scarecrow. I mean, he is supposed to be involved, right? Since Batman Begins was based on the Long Halloween, partially at least. What's a Mai Tai?
Where Luigi Maroni could find him and finish the job? No. Dr. Wayne, please. Carmine is my only son.
Oh.
I'll do what I can.
Alfred, get my bag. Right away, sir.
Alfred should be young at this point, yeah?
The Roman.
Very smart. You remind me of my boy.
He has a boy?
My life. Guess that makes us
Ain't cowardly lot.
Dr. Thomas Wayne pulled Luigi Maroni's bullets out of Falcone's chest.
My father was dead by a mobster's hand within a year. Any can make peace with Carmine?
Bat. How I wonder what your
Oh, oh no! Is he gonna be framed? How did they time it to where he just wakes up? Or maybe he just got up. Maybe he just got up because he was already hearing the footsteps.
I don't know why you watch that garbage.
No.
Now that you can't go back to him. Ungrateful bitch. My door open again.
I haven't been in the basement today.
This is where we got the intro to the Dark Knight from the Long Halloween.
Luigi Maroni sends his regards.
Oh, the soundtrack's great.
They think it's you. Who are you? You know who I am.
That's kind of cliche. It's pretty good. Okay.
You and I know that both sides of that coin are heads. How the hell could you?
Oh, no, Of course. Then I suppose it's off to bed with you. Is there something I can help?
That's exactly my schedule right now.
Last year. The long Halloween.
He said it.
And when that happens, people die.
Whose wives?
I guess justice really is blind.
Ooh. He got the Joker. Cobblepot?
What is this? Judgment Day.
We lost them in the sewers. You're right. This was meant to distract us.
Yeah, but distract us from what? I really owe it all to you, Carmine. You've taught me that all men are guilty. Legit businessman / philanthropist by day. Criminal racketeer, murderer by night. You've rigged every game you've ever played in your business and your family. It's really the most minor of adjustments. A small change of outlook that decides if you live or not. Just pull the fucking trigger. You haven't listened. If you had, you'd understand that for the first time, Carmine, it really isn't up to me. Good luck.
Nancy? Hold all my calls. Someone.
Advancement. A weight has been lifted. I don't have to decide who's innocent. Guilty.
No!
Two bullets only. Sorry, gorgeous.
Louisa.
Louisa. Harvey never went to Oxford. That was me.
Knew it.
Child ripped from my book.
Okay, so that was Batman The Long Halloween Part 2. And I didn't know I was going to be right about that. I thought it was so obscure that, oh, and I was just making a joke. Oh, imagine if she's Halloween. Ha ha ha. But it was right. I thought it'd be, I don't know, if I would just go completely against everything that was set. But again, the part I was played off was when she tells him, oh, you left the, when Harvey says you left the basement door open. And then she says, I haven't been in the basement. So, obviously at that point I was thinking, is she... Okay, so at that point I was thinking, is she also like Harvey, where she also has the dark side of her, that sort of thing? And then of course you see it says Oxford, which was Harvey went to Oxford. I mean, if he had bias, he's still in Gotham. It's not. Dent is not an Oxford man. So obviously, okay, so I guess that's his wife. So was I right when I jokingly said that at the beginning? And again, they don't really show that much of her. I know that in the first part, I think maybe the first part was a bit better, just as far as showing Harvey's home life. And here, it's a bit more. I know that the second part usually has to be more payoff and stuff, but I did like seeing a lot more development in the first part of The Long Halloween. And I was confused. Did I just forget how the part one ended? There was Poison Ivy at the end of that too, because I know I was getting a lot of flashes from Batman Hush at that point. You know, Poison Ivy's always there somehow, so it was fine. But again, I mean, they weren't really explaining was Holiday. It sort of felt like it was like in a comic where if you probably were, as in like maybe like the Killing Joke, right? You know, you see that, and then maybe afterwards you see this other thing was the real thing. But here, it just, when it was being revealed, it just didn't have some of that weight to it, where maybe it could have been on the music. Maybe they could have played some of that music to me that seemed like, oh no, this is where it's really revealed. But no, it was just very real. Maybe they could have done a little bit more with that, because I know Harvey doesn't want to give up his wife. But and they probably best needed to have it be that, because he is the one that did do a lot of it. And it'd probably be, but you probably couldn't prove that Gilda was behind it, considering she just burned all the evidence. And again, Catwoman is related to Falcone here. Or was that in the comics too? I don't think I know enough about the comics for that. And from the, I don't know. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, I still think I liked the first part a little bit better, you know, when he first ran as Catwoman, just a lot of red and stuff. Very, very good. But here there's just, it doesn't have the same thing to it. So maybe that's not exactly whatever it is. And again, you know, probably not surprising, but of course when he's thinking, the idiots think it's you. Like, okay, yeah, we know it's not Harvey, but I guess he's just gonna play to that, just to maybe try and lure out Holiday. I don't know, but I did like Falcone's son in the first part too. You know, you get to see a bit more of what they do and stuff, as opposed to here to just sort of cowering. And it does, certain parts do seem like, oh, we only need, you know, we don't need to set this part up. But they do have a few of those breaks, you know, where he's at the mansion, Bruce Wayne is at the mansion, Batman, you know, some of that stuff. But a lot of that just seems like they had to just banter. Like, I know that they try to break it up a little bit with introducing Falcone's, well, not the Catwoman, but the big daughter. It was fine, I guess. You know, again, like that. But that's sort of the problem. What happens when you split it in two? But again, I did like the art style here in a way a bit more. You know, maybe because it does make it have its own look. And then the first one I first saw those fake lines, I wasn't that thrilled, but the other shading and coloring, that looks very, very good. Again, Harvey having only 2 bullets, so that way he can't use the gun against it. But that also means if those were done and he didn't get Falcone, well, then he'd be done. But it looks like, I don't know, the shot seemed to have switched to where at that point it maybe seemed like, oh no, it would have been there, but no, it was actually lower around his neck apparently. And of course, what is Selina's relation to that other? I mean, are they even related by blood? I mean, obviously they're related by blood, at least Falcone. They're like half siblings, and you know, they probably could have done maybe something more with that, but they bring it up, and again, it's not really that touch that they don't really touch upon it that much. And what else was there? I mean, Falcone, you know, honoring the stuff. You know, I said about Danton stuff. The courtroom stuff was fun. And again, it was fine, but maybe other than Michael G said, maybe they should have been a bit more dramatic when they actually revealed they killed this one that actually did it. I should probably pick up the comic, but again, it's very hard to find comics, and I never really completely figured out how to do that online. So I think my best way was to just buy it off online and then read like the paperbacks. But for the long Halloween season, I mean, I do have my reading stuff full right now, so maybe I'll do that at some other time. But and again, you know, the courtroom stuff was very related to the Dark Knight thing, you know, where, you know, you see Harvey Dent in action against that guy. You know, they're sort of sworn, oh no, we need you to testify for this guy. Then of course he backs out when he's at the courtroom. Right, another part where, you know, Harvey, like he's in his office, and when that guy comes to him, right, so he starts in case he tries anything. No, if he was going to try that, he probably done it. So obviously he's still going to try it, but just in a different way, you know, as by not going through with the thing in the courtroom when it's too late to have anything else backed out at that point. What I want to know is how Harvey got all the villains there to work together, because the Joker really is going to work with them, and obviously not Harley Quinn, because it probably isn't related to, but it's specific to the animated series, right? So not fine, but again, the Mad Hatter there, and I know it's all Crane, but it's just Crane doesn't really do much in here. Right, so we know that Falcone's daughter helps break Crane out, I think, just to keep Batman busy, and kind of ends up working against them. And again, another potential Dark Knight reference was, you know, where they're having a nice fancy dinner gathering, and then, you know, it's interrupted. Obviously, in the Dark Knight, it's the Joker, it's Bruce Wayne's beneficiary, in here is Falcone. But again, some of the structure beats, you know, I'll have a fancy rich people dinner party is still carried over into the Dark Knight from we know he read The Long Halloween for the first one, so I'm assuming maybe whatever he didn't get to use in that was carried over to The Dark Knight. Whatever Christopher Nolan, decided, oh, maybe this fits better here. But again, some of the good coloring and stuff. And again, I really wish, but again, Gil had to kill him. I mean, because you only see him for the first half, and then here he's not mentioned at all. So maybe if it probably was better for her to voice his suspicion if she kills his son, because if she saved him for last, okay, so then he knows what could be going on. So again, this is kind of great in terms of holiday, because, well, then no one's gonna suspect it because of the order as well. So she pulled it off. So first she took care of what could give her away, and then, well, as far as in the two things, right? So that's her final one for that initial one. So maybe that does give it away a bit. But so you see us through part 1 and part 2, you think, okay, part 2 is the real one, and then so by midpoint she would probably. And I know it was fine, but again, you probably have to check The Long Halloween to really make more accurate comparisons for this. But again, it was fine, and the way then they start talking, and then the calendar man knows something though. So I'm curious, how does the calendar man know that part's never really explained here? So again, maybe that could have been, because again, and obviously, we already know the holiday thing's going on, but how do the cops don't know? Oh, mental this from what? Well, that it's going to involve obviously the who's been being targeted over this Long Halloween. So how do you know that wasn't Tisha? Again, he's not explained how Harvey gets on and running to work with him. Again, some of the stuff that isn't really explained, but maybe it's explained in the comic book. But again, it was fun. It was pretty good. And I'll be, I don't know. I'll write the teaser at the end, right? So you get the Flash and Green Arrow already gonna recruit Batman to Justice League again. Who knows? Kind of remind you of Flashpoint. I really like Flashpoint Paradox. But again, so Jensen Ackles is Batman is possibly gonna have more movies, which is fine. He does an okay job. I still like them much better as the Red Hood, Jason Todd. And again, I don't know. So I don't know. They kind of use Catwoman here, but not in the way you'd expect, because these days, you're just thinking, you're just thinking about Catwoman, like possibly maybe because of the Arkham games, maybe I've played them too much to the point where that's the only cat I know. But again, she sort of pops in here now. I think she popped in better in the first one, but again, not really like the Selena Kyle from usually other versions of this. What I did think was pretty good was both parts 1 and 2 of The Dark Knight Returns, possibly because I've read the comic and I knew exactly, and I thought that was the best thing I'd ever watched when I saw them back in my high school days when they came out. I was like, this is amazing. It's possibly, and then I waited for part 2, and it was, oh, this is great. The keeping in the tone of that, and it was amazing then. But again, The Long Halloween part 2, I liked it. Maybe if I watched it together with The Long Halloween part 1 and part 2 back to back, maybe I would enjoy it more. But then again, now since I do know that where it's going, maybe not. I've actually the only one I think I have rewatched is The Dark Knight Returns part 1 and 2. She had the deluxe edition on iTunes when I bought that, which I'm kind of wishing I didn't get, because the way part 1 ends of Joker smiling, and the theme kicks in from that movie, it works really well. But in the deluxe edition, it just moves on to the next one. So maybe, well, but I was, but I was just a broke student at that point. So, now let's see again, again, other than Cobblepot and stuff, I think we heard more of Troy Baker's Joker in the first one. But again, not bad. I was enjoying maybe the beginning a bit more, but later it just got very, maybe it was, we got to see a bit of authority things for Silver Slow-burn, but sometimes it just seems inconsistent where things get super serious, but then we're sort of having a bit more somber to try and balance it out. But certain parts just I'm not quite sure being able to put my finger on that, because Upper Oryx, and but maybe things get a bit too slow. Sometimes when they're trying to set the atmosphere with the Falcone, and things get super serious then, but then try to have some lightness there. I suppose maybe they should have even kept that serious, because I know that when the first part started on the opening, when we saw Harbin, everything was still, it really had that mood to it, and here it just doesn't have that, where you think, oh, you might not be in the edge of your seat, where Harvey go, it's the same thing. That's not the same thing. At this point, you're just thinking, oh, well, they keep thinking it's Harvey. Like, it's clearly not Harvey. That's pretty obvious. So when they keep thinking it's him, and he's obviously being set up, how do you not know this? And maybe that's actually a plot point. Either way, it was fine, but just maybe took a little bit off of it. Either way, it was fine, and that's all I have to say. Still enjoyed it, and maybe I'll watch it sometime in the future. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and call it, and I'll see you.